This is a game where you want to make sure that you're controlling the tempo of the game.
The Eagles, if we were able to get a fourth down or two, it changes the game.
And the Eagles are now 8-2.
Our team's waiting to win because they know how to win.
First Take is presented by Freestyle Libre.
First Take on a Monday morning. Good morning, everyone. Shay Cornett, Stephen A. Smith here with you, Dan Orlowski, and yes, Cam Newton is joining us from the ATL. Good morning, everyone. How are you feeling?
Good morning. Hope y'all had a wonderful weekend.
Feel great.
I did. What made
So did I.
difficult for you?
So did I.
I was in a warm weather place. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in New York at the time.
Yeah. It was cold here this weekend.
It wasn't cold
and windy.
Wasn't cold where I was. That was good.
It is even colder this morning, it feels like. Let's go to last night, because the offense was cold for both teams, okay? Eagles and Lions, not much offense really from either team. The Eagles have now combined for 26 points in their last two games, which were both wins, by the way. The Lions were 3 of 13 on third down. They failed to convert on 5 fourth down attempts. But much was made of the final call of the game, which was a defensive pass interference call for the Lions. And so let's dive into that play quickly. That call robbed Detroit of the win. Cam Newton, you first. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, as you see this type of game unfold, you know that it's going to come down to an epic finish. Well, we were robbed for that because what happened to physicality in letting them play, ref? Well, we didn't see that. The ref made it about himself and said, hey, was it touchy-touchy? Yes, but was it that type of game? Absolutely. This was a defensive-esque game. We knew it was going to be chippy. We knew it was going to come down to, some type of heroics at the end. And from the fans' perspective, we were robbed from that. A pass interference to give a potential opportunity to make all his wrongs right in Jared Goff. No, he doesn't get that. And it's disappointing to see that happen. And I must say, should that have been under review, I would have loved to see somebody kind of overthrow and say, like, no, that wasn't a necessary, pass interference, and we cannot end the game on these type of circumstances.
You don't want to see that. Particularly in a game of this magnitude, you really don't want to see it, period. I understand, listen, a lot of times in a lot of sports, we go by letter of the law, and I understand it has to. I get it, doesn't mean we had to like it. But I guess what I'm saying is, if there's any wiggle room whatsoever not to do that, and to make sure it's decided on the field, you do that. This was so flagrantly obvious that, you look at them, if anything, AJ could have been called for offensive interference. He could have been called for that. To make this call, it's just egregious. It's 1:51 left. If you don't get that call, you got to turn the ball over to Detroit. And that defense that's been playing lights out, now you got Gibbs and Jameson Williams and the crew on the opposite side of the field. What you going to do against them? You got this one last stand that you have to make. That's how the game should have ended. We got robbed of that opportunity because this was an absolutely awful, awful call on the part of the officiating.
Yeah, saying the Lions got robbed because of the call is ridiculous.
Right.
The Lions got whooped last night, okay? Their offensive line got exposed last night. Jared Goff was poor under pressure. So, yes, it's a bad call. We didn't get a potential finish, but did anybody feel like they were going to go do anything? This offensive line got whooped by this defense in Philadelphia. So to sit here and say they got robbed because of that call, no shot. They got manhandled at the line of scrimmage.
They got denied the opportunity to have one last shot at winning the game. That much we can say. I don't think we can say any more than that. You're right. But we can at least say that.
Yeah,
sure.
I was promising, I thought, to see the Lions defense actually show up. But I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean it like they were the reason that they were in this game for so long. Let's go to the Eagles side of this, though, because Jalen Hurts accounted for only 1 touchdown. That was the tush-push that we saw. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith combined for only 57 yards, only 8 catches combined. Same story offensively, different day, it feels like, for the team that's leading the NFC. Let's hear from the players in the locker room after the game.
Accept the victory. I think as soon as we got going, we shot ourselves in the foot. That's something that we can clean up. If somebody just beat us, then that's up to them. But, it's some things that we are doing.
My main takeaways is we got to score points. We got to be more efficient. We got to take advantage of opportunities when they're there. And we got to control the things that we can control. It's the same MO it's been this whole entire time.
Okay. I don't know what I was expecting from Philadelphia, but I thought maybe we'd see a little bit more offensive production since they were coming off their last game in prime time where things didn't look good on that side of the ball. A win is a win, I guess, but were you more impressed, Stephen A., with Philly's defense or disappointed in Philadelphia's offense?
Well, I was more impressed with their defense. I thought their defense was lights out. Again, reiterating the point that I made a second ago, you got the second-ranked offense in the National Football League coming into the game, averaging 31 points a game. You didn't just beat them, you beat them down, okay? You pressured them all night long. You got sacks, okay? I'm looking at holding them to a season-low 9 points, only 13 first downs, going 3 for 13 on third downs. This is what we're talking about with the Detroit Lions last night. 0 for 5 with those fourth down calls.
Yeah.
I mean, completely shut down, beat up at the line of scrimmage. Dan Campbell takes over offensive play calling duties, registers a season high 44 points, 546 yards the week before. What did I say? Well, that was against the Commanders. Let's pump the brakes and let's see what's going to happen this week. And sure enough, they strolled into Philadelphia and they were absolutely awful. There is no way to slice it. And you have critics. I'm a fan of Dan Campbell's because he's a culture changer, but you got a lot of people that have looked at some of these decisions. You know how he's not risk averse. He will take chances. He will push the envelope. He will do those things. Last night, was a time when it did not work to their advantage. And to me, Philadelphia showed me they can beat you up. And I don't think that's the kind of message that you want exposed about yourself if you're the Detroit Lions as the season wanes. Get physical with them. Beat them up at the line of scrimmage, and guess what? You can sit up there and reduce them to the rubble they looked like last night. That's what they look like. We have not, and Jared Goff has had bad moments. He's had bad moments in the postseason. He's had bad moments in regular seasons in his career. We haven't seen him look this bad. He was bad last night, and it was because the Eagles were applying an awful lot of pressure, very, very little protection.
Yeah, I'm praising Howie Roseman, the general manager for the Eagles.
Sure.
This Jalen Phillips edition
big time
feels like it's going to be the Von Miller addition to the Rams from years ago, the OBJ. This defense right now is the best defense in football along with the Rams and Seattle Seahawks. There's no way that anybody can tell me one is better than the other. This was a defense that was a little bit of a question mark to start the season. They weren't getting back to the quarterback. Phillips has been fantastic, both in the run and the pass. You're starting to see Jalen Carter start to play like Jalen Carter did last year. Ojomo's been great. Nakobe Dean being healthy. So I'm praising this defense. Their coverage unit is absolutely sensational. I think that where I kind of fall off of this past weekend because the games were so great is there's 3 teams that I would sit there and say that are the class of the NFC. It's Philly, it's Seattle, and it's LA. When it comes to what offense am I most concerned with out of those 3, it's Philly. And Detroit was great. But Detroit was down, I think, 3 out of their 4 secondary starters, 4 out of 5 at some point.
Yeah.
And they locked Philly up in the pass game. There was no separation in the pass game. And so while I can sit here and say really good run defense in Detroit and hats off, they were great playing man-to-man coverage. My guy better than your guy. And for a team that has 2 elite ones, and Devontae's become a top 5 wide receiver this year, for them to lock them up as much as they did in their pass game, yeah, that gives me a little bit of this is going to have to get a little bit better offensively in Philly.
Go ahead, Cam.